Greetings everyone, please give a moment to make sure everything's set on up. Sorry I'm running a little bit slow today. The stream's booting on up, probably a good time for me to adjust this. Okay, let's see. There we go. That seems good. Now give me a moment to check on my streams, make sure they're all booting on up. The Twitter is going, or Twitch is going. Rumble is going. And looks like YouTube's going. Looks like everything's going good. And is my microphone working? Yes, it is. Perfect. Give me a moment to check my other computer. And looks like everything's online. Oh, well, I should need to turn on the chat windows. Yep, a little bit disorganized at the moment. And that's all good. Looks like everything should be good to go. Make sure my macros. Yep. So, let's go and get started. Greetings everyone, Angrid here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay. Spawn on the north side as the Amber Orange Olaf, we got Went by. Spawn on the south side as the Blue Moon Eagle, we got Muji6. When it comes to this map, both players do start off a recon in the corner to spot the two factory production, or it looks like just the one that looks like it's not spotted there. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. So it looks like we see this one, any traversement there. And of course, there's also a black boat on each player's HQ, which can be dislodged permanently from the HQ to transport units back and forth. Well, infantry back and forth, I should say. Additionally, the airport is in the center as well. And this is also not a half bad spot for a pipe runner for defensive situations. Either way, let's get started. See, Olaf made a move as Black Boat, and so does Eagle. Olaf is unaffected by snow, has no other day-to-day bonuses, while Eagle has plus 50% firepower, plus 10% defense on scare units. His naval units loses 30% attack, so that's not too important. Also, his air units consume 2 less fuel per day, which is actually not half bad. Makes his battlecopters consume 0 fuel per day. Not often they get to the point where they have to crash, but still very nice to have. This map is pretty good for wheeled vehicle. Remember as well, in Advanced Wars by Web, shores have perfect movement for all wheeled units. So you're able to really push wheeled units down the shoreline very quickly there. We now have artillery piece here. Maybe I dislodge the pipe scene. Does get a good shot there, interrupts the capture of the comm tower. Of course, he does spot now the recon there, so may want to see a regular tank there. Recon tank. Recon, not tank. And we've got a recon over here. And Eagle has pulled out a relatively early artillery piece over here. This is more or less the weak side with only one base. Over here there's 2 bases. More of a strong side, weak side mechanic. Airport can go either way, though it is more positioned for the weak side. He only moved the black boat of 1 tile. He got a garrison as well. Why did he only move 1 tile? Was that a misclick? That might have been a misclick there. Is an open sea, so can't dismount there. It looks like Eagle's taking time to put holes into this pipe scene there, so no chance for a pipe runner to defend himself in this region. And looks like he does in the 1 health infantry unit try to start capturing the column tower, which is probably not column tower, the lab. This map is an HQ map, so the lab is just a basic 3-star property that provides no income. But if you want to give your opponent or some player vision, you can. Looks like the recon does get trapped by infantry, but in this case it will not be retaliated upon. Weak side HQ come under heavy pressure on this map, especially you don't break the weak side. Got it, so it is a good idea to break it. I just always see, like, there is a possibility for a pipe runner. Because I want to see a pipe runner. Because you don't see pipe runners. Yeah, the faster reinforcement is important. Don't get me wrong with that. But the pipe runner, though, would reach out quite far. Tank, mech, and infantry. Recon does go down, giving, of course, Eagle a bit of power charge there. Now this artillery piece can rotate around, maybe this road tile there, and start bombarding the pipe scene. Recon here not being hit by a tank just yet, so it's getting some good reconnaissance. Got props being captured up there. Right now, it looks like Eagle has 14,000 versus 12,000, so a slight advantage for Eagle at this exact moment. First battlecopter on the field by Eagle. He's likely to employ a heavy number of battlecopters. Anti-air, which is a good idea. I've been told that you want to get anti-air out by no later than turn 10, especially depending which person you're fighting against. If it's against Eagle, yes, you should definitely get anti-air sooner rather than later. If it versus Drake, maybe not so much, since minus 2% firepower on battlecopter is quite significant. And looks like he's going to be siege breaking the recon there with a mech rather than with an artillery piece. So he's going to be a little bit cheaper out there. It would take longer to capture, but also somewhat short to capture since you can start capturing it almost immediately. But you can always just position infantry just in the right place to get a capture up either way. Olaf's recon has gone down. Tank pushed the forest. And of course, Olaf does have a tank there on top of the missile silo platform. I actually just call them platforms. Does get a strike there, and that was a poor choice there by Olaf. This tank here will not be retaliate against the tank if it moves right there. So, looks like Eagle will get a very good first strike over here. And he may be able to... Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, attacking from this side would be a bad choice, because I was thinking maybe he's going to try to attack from this side to get the black boat repaired, but that would be a bad choice since it will receive retaliation strike. Attacking right here will receive no retaliation. Recon tries way forward. Artillery gets on top of the HQ and range the tank, but this tank does spawn the artillery piece. So that's not a great idea to put it right there. 4-star defense is nice, but he needs to get a retaliatory unit built here, probably a tank. Mech gets a good strike there, does take a point of damage. Good strike there. Oh, that was even better spot. I was thinking on top of the 4 planes. Why did I not think about on top of the city? It will get repaired in full next turn. Very nice. Tank, infantry, battlecopter, infantry. Gets a good shot there. Takes out the infantry unit. Tank falls back to HQ. Other one gets top of the city. Black Boat could rotate around and get a repair there, though. Nope. There's the turn repairs will get this up. So I think it would be a good idea to send the Black Boat to repair up the tank. And it looks like the tank does not strike against the artillery piece, which would be a bit of a bait there. It's a good thing he didn't. And decides to resupply this infantry unit. So it looks like this black boat's heading over here. It's getting pretty low on fuel, so he needs to capture the seaport there in order to get it refueled. And Olaf did save a bit of money there. He's at 5,700 in the bank, has 88,000 in the field. Eagle has 85, so Eagle has a slight advantage. Yeah, closer to almost full turn. The mech finished it off, and he will actually capture the infantry unit rather than the mech. I was half thinking he's going to capture the mech, just because it's going to be slow going to get the front line either way. Does finish off that tank there, very nice, but in range of this tank, as well as this tank. Battlecopter advancing, do have a battlecopter up here. Olaf's battlecopter is completely and utterly ordinary, which is perfectly fine. Anti-air tank. Good strike there. 2 interrupts there. 1 dead tank there. Blizzard available as well as lightning drive. Likely not see either superpower this entire game. There is somewhat of argument for a blizzard in some cases, because since Eagle is a double turn CO, and winter is particularly effective against air units to cut their movement range in half. So in order to nullify or maybe delay a lightning strike, he can pop a blizzard into really nerfing it. Because it also adversely affects ground units as well by a small amount. It just makes the double turn a lot less effective. Of course, it's still a generally good idea to save up Winter Fury. Got another tank infantry battlecopter tank. Ends the turn of 104. Eagle starts turn of 94, so it's turn-to-turn difference pretty much at this point in time. Artillery strikes the pipe seam. Tank finished it off. Battlecopter strikes infantry rather going farther forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it should be in range of the Olaf battlecopter. And puts a recon and infantry in the way. But this recon can be double tapped by the tanks, so he can still strike the battlecopter if he so choose. Eagle has a pair of anti-air down south, and looks like his black boats over here as well as this one here, so both of them at full field. Except the infantry unit there, while double tapping the recon. The battlecopter rotates around. With our cast vision, I think it would have been safe to be a bit more aggressive, but I kind of say not going super aggressive, since if you're lacking vision, don't be super aggressive. Unless you're willing to gamble everything to be lost. Anti-air tank, battlecopter, infantry. Gets a strike there from the HQ. Trying to flip some property, do some flips. Pushing a good amount of those forces forward. Gets a good strike from the infantry and finish it off. Olaf is being quite defensive up here, which is to Eagle's advantage. He does have a small core of units here that's quite nice. One of the few situations where a rocket wouldn't be half bad due to the hyper defensive nature of this area. Still probably a good idea to just go for artillery. But a rocket on top of this force could be quite nice. Either way, rockets are expensive, so whenever I say something, oh, a very expensive unit would be quite useful. Yes, an very expensive unit would be very useful most times. Does get the interrupt there, finish off some outlying units. Eagle does have less units in the field than Olaf, which is quite good for him. And we do almost have a Winter Fury available, likely one next turn. And Eagle does, of course, has his Lightning Strike somewhat close. They have very similar funds generated. Oh, there was a Neo tank last turn. See, your Lightning Strike is at 56,000. This is at 57,000. So they've done quite similar damage. It also suggests that Olaf took more damage. Eagle hasn't a Neo tank here, which could be very deadly for a double turn. Against a pick there, Winter Fury is now available. And here's the thing as well, Winter Fury will pop first, which means the snow effect. Eagle may not... He's going to get a Lightning Strike this turn? I wonder... It's going to be... Need to deal another 120,000 or another 20,000 damage. I've built a stealth in the past, can delay the push if they don't have a fighter. True. Especially if you put it on top of the HQ. And plus, you don't have to go too far as well. You don't necessarily need APCs, the free black boat. That can also get it refueled up as well. So yeah, this map is probably pretty good for stealths. This, I think, a lot of Fog War maps actually allow stealth. Whoops, not that button. Which button am I looking for? Info. Yep, stealths are available. Like usual, the black boat is banned. While, oh, there's Winter Fury. Didn't have time to even see that his turn started. Just Winter Fury. No time to wait, just cold. Olaf does start the turn 109,000, and here's what Eagle will end the turn with. Hold the Wind Battlecopter, maybe not really necessary. Probably good thing just to merge into another unit if he has a chance. Probably not worth the time to take it out and repair it, since it'll consume the entire airport for some time. Yeah, proper cheesy. We do now have a Lightning Strike, and I've been constantly mentioning the snow. The snow is made to delay the Lightning Strike. Battlecopter, tank, infantry. Olaf ends turn for 126,000. Eagle starts turn 111, so Winter Fury was very good, but Eagle was already in pretty good position, so he didn't take too much of a difference. In fact, it's still day-to-day difference. So Eagle is still in a very good position. And the thing as well, is there a possibility for a Lightning Strike? Battlecopter is in a good position to do double tap. There's not many... That's his only Battlecopter in the field, isn't it? Maybe this is a good turn for Lightning Strikes. Hard to say. Artillery pieces could charge forward and get in position. Neotank, of course, as well. The Neotank will not... Oh, maybe we'll be able to strike this regular tank. He's in a good, pretty good position just to do a general attack either way. Artillery pieces setting him up in good position, so we may see the Lightning Strike this turn. It's also a good idea not to still hold on to your power and superpower. It's also a case where you should. Because of the winter, but I think he is close enough to close the distance, so I think the Lightning Strike will be summoned this turn. Tank, recon, and there's the Lightning Strike. Now, let's see, what will he do with the Lightning Strike? He has all 3 artillery pieces in range of the unit, so that's very good. Interrupts the capture. Takes out that unit. Artillery piece strikes the infantry unit rather than the other artillery piece, so no counter barrage. Finish off that unit there. Tank strikes the artillery piece, so that's originally his plan. Black Bolt gets on top of the port, which means it will get repairs. Maybe he shouldn't have done that. Nice plan to pull an infantry unit there. If the regular tank strikes another target, the Neo tank will be able to strike this regular tank, which I believe is a good idea. He can push forward. Which he will. Gets a good strike there. Unable to breach the... maybe not a good call right there. Like I said, the Neo tank could have ranged it. True, this map does have a lot of shores and roads for mobility. After all, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, you still have retained full movement. I always forget the exact difference. I know the exact differences, but why does it not go to the next turn? Next turn? Okay, I mainly hit next turn. Oops. Okay, I had a mainly hit next turn. Looks like the replay may be a little bit bugged out, but I don't think there was any additional movements there. Looks like the game bugged out. I'm going to just copy this. Alright, let's see now. And I think the replay bugged out. I'm pretty sure this game goes on for like 20 turns. Oh, sorry about that. Looks like the replay bugged out. I cannot go forward any further. Nope, sorry about that. Yeah, that's a bad way to end the replay. I wonder. Close replay. Okay, it was the end of the replay. Got it. It looks like Olaf did surrender there, because if I ended the replay, it shows that he did resign there. Oh, just a bit of bug in the replay. Give me a moment to adjust this. Big map. You know, I also need to do that. I think he did. One of those things where it's like, Advanced Wars Wide Web, it's not bug-free. Far from it. Well, let's see. I want this to be a little bit bigger, so I'm going to shrink this for a moment. Move the chat window off the side. I think that will do. Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Advanced Wars by Web replay. Spawn on the north side as the Yellow Comet Olaf. We got Mu-G6. Spawn on the south side as the Black Hole Von Bolt. We got Issy. Issy? I see. I have no idea how to pronounce it. H-S-Y. Well, I don't think that's even a word. Either way, let's get started. Olaf is, of course, a snow specialist. He's unaffected by snow. And Von Bolt does have plus 10% offense and defense. We're likely to see quite a bit of Wounded Fury, but this map does follow two sort of lanes with a bit of skirmish in the middle. So Von Bolt's Ex Machina could be very effective, able to lock down an entire flank. Yo, this map's travesty. I guess you don't like this map. This map is a little bit weird off of the various land black boats, with one next to the black hole, to the captured comm tower, which is an interesting choice. I don't know, this one could just probably be removed. It's just weird to me. And of course, got the scouting black boat on the airport as well. This map is 3 bases, 2 airports, so it's going to be a lot of infantry, potentially a good number of battle copters. One has a stealth deployment, one has a unstealthy deployment until the black boat goes down. Both sides just point out mass infantry. I think, feeling that Von Bolt, yep, does go for a tank this turn. And we may see a bit of a conflict, however. The conflict will be him running into the infantry unit. No scouting there. Oh, nope, he goes over there. With possible estimated timings, he can actually possibly estimate there could be infantry unit there this turn. But either way, he made a good call going left rather than right, or north. Infantry, recon, infantry. Olaf does have tank over here, so we're going to see both players first take on this left flank. Tank, infantry, infantry. Recon pushing up north and to the left. Tank infantry recon. Tank. Recon infantry. So both players playing a good number of tanks and as well as a handful of recons. Capping out the airport now. I play on Fog of War only. Getting rid of the infantry on the mountain is tough, but pretty much you can stand when with intel. Most of the time, whenever I cast this replay, nobody touches the mountain infantry. I think people just accept it as a way of life. Though Sonya can get her +1 vision range to spot everything at once, so Sonya actually has a map preference for this map. Got the first kill right there. Right now Olaf has 16,000 versus 14,000. Oh, boost there. Tank, recon, infantry. Tank. We've got a decent number of tanks here. Olaf only has the one tank, so Von Bolt has advantage, but though so far sees really nothing here for Von Bolt. Von Bolt sees nothing with Olaf's there. Maintaining minimal vision is going to flip this property. Over here we do have some infantry units. Got a good number of Olaf tanks here, or when I say good I mean 2, which is greater than currently 0. He has 2 tanks here. This one could go left or right. I only tried to get rid of it once with an arty, and my opponent just moved infantry in the weeks. Yep. Yeah, if you put the artillery piece here, you can strike both of them, or you can just simply go over this one. Yeah, I don't think it's meant to be killed off. Here's a good shot there, at least interrupt the flip. Finish off the infantry unit there. Tank, infantry. Does spot this tank there, finish off that unit. Tank does strike the tank, and this is going to be a free kill effectively. Gets a good shot on the recon, at least can still fall back maybe to this forest and provide some continuous spotting. Anti-air artillery, infantry. Got a couple more Olaf tanks here, so he's getting 3 more reinforcement tanks over here. Right now Von Bolt will have 3 as well. One tank does fall back, not much you can do on the front line, might as well just have it fall back. Battlecopter, anti-air infantry, and puts the battlecopter on the exposed side, which means the anti-air got a pretty good build on this side and was actually a good call. Good guess there. Now he knows where to send the anti-air. Pulls out anti-air on the other side, which does make sense. It's probably a good idea getting anti-air on both sides. Von Bolt has not deployed any battlecopters. Artillery, recon, and anti-air. The Von Bolt has less tanks in the field. Right now he has 5 versus Olaf's 6, and plus 1 battlecopter. He does end turn 105,000. Olaf starts turn 92, so it looks like Von Bolt's getting pretty good economic advantage. Whoops, I hit my microphone pretty badly there. And Von Bolt's recon is an excellent position there. Got a good number of tanks here. Perhaps putting the 5 health tank on top of the city wouldn't be half bad. And the other full health one may on top of the forest. It looks like Olaf's just trying to group his forces, be defensive. Anti-air tank. Tank recon. Still no battle pops up from Von Bolt. Let's go strike there. He will need to input the lab capture because this is a lab map. 2 labs here, and the other 2 here. Both of them pretty close by. You got to make sure you don't randomly go down to a lab capture forfeit or loss. These are good hits there. Units rotating around. Tank, recon tank. Not really good shot there. He saw both those tanks be striking the recon. That means he's going to have trouble. Doesn't finish it off there. I'm not sure what the chances of it being successful. I need a high luck roll. Can't see what percentage health it has left. But we'll get a good strike there on one of the tanks. Blizzard now available. We probably won't see that the entire game. There's probably Winter Fury versus Ex Machina. Ex Machina would be very effective. It will effectively lock down the entire flank, such as right over here. Granted, he's very far from getting it, but I'm just showing it's a pretty good example. Tank, infantry. Does not take out the infantry unit there. The extra defense for Von Bolt is coming in handy. Does get a good strike there. And does take a shot there. Leaving just... So actually the artillery piece can strike an infantry unit, not a tank. But this 9 health tank can strike the 8 health tank. They'll be on top of a city for 3 stars. Let's see what he does. Takes out the infantry unit there. Does pick off a good number of units there. Finish off the 2 health tank. Tank course strike the 8 health tank. Really did some good damage there. And the ATR even finished it off. Von Bolt has effectively crushed the right flank. Medium tank infantry. Medium tanks are relatively slow, but this flank is pretty static at the moment. While Von Bolt's been quite successful here, I can honestly say I'm going for more regular tanks over here to really solidify his gains. But now on Von Bolt or Olaf may need to push down south. There's a possibility of getting Winter Fury this turn. Will need to do quite some damage, and really has scattered out nothing at the moment. 1 health recon could just charge forward and spot stuff. Good strikes there. 1 health recon does sack itself. Takes out the infantry unit there. Good strike on the ATR. Artillery piece now remains that tank. Does go good strike there on that tank. And he does have a tank on top of the forest here, as well as in the city back here. Olaf may have overextended. Does get the Winter Fury. So he managed to squeeze out just enough actions to get it going. He had about a handful of units left in the field. And now Von Bolt's going to be in pretty... would be wounded quite a bit there. Battlecopter, anti-air, infantry, recon. And this also blunts the possible counterattack. Olaf ends turns of 148. Von Bolt starts from 104, so he took a pretty good hit there. But still, of course, his Ex Machina is a possibility. Pulling back a good number of units there. Maybe a little bit too much. Though there's not really much for them to fight. Start flipping some profits wouldn't be that bad. It's a good strike there. And there. It's up the wounded unit. Interior falls back. This is just generally just falling back out of this region. Medium tank will be very useful. Can the medium tank only go that far? Yep. Oh, snow really slowed down that medium tank. Infantry battle copter. Insert 115,000. Olaf's return 139, so he's in great position right now. Olaf has maybe a little bit too many recons this area. Not enough tanks, so Bunny needs to go for tank and some over here. Battlecopter wouldn't be half bad, but we have to be careful about any idiots. Goes from another battlecopter infantry artillery recon, so he's going to just try to be defensive with the artillery. And he's going to try to push forward aggressively over here. And there's nothing in this area to really stop Von Bolt. He has some infantry units here that are somewhat falling back. You can just push forward and merge them on in. Infantry, he's just trying to bring in infantry units over here to start capturing it up. Has 18,000 fields, but may see no medium tank this turn. He could eye for tank battlecopter, right? Anti-air battlecopter. Ex Machina is almost available. Just assume it's going to be happening next turn. Battlecopter. Does strike the Blackbolt there, giving his opponent a lot of power charge. And here comes Ex Machina. Ex Machina is likely to strike somewhere over here. It goes for most amount of damage, so I'm thinking it's going to land right here. Nothing visible got hit from it, so I think it did land right here. Because everything right there is out of vision range, so I'm guessing tank, battlecopter, recon, infantry. With how fog works in this game, we won't be able to figure out where it landed until it's his opponent's turn. Because even now, even though he has these two units this unit spotted, we will not be able to. We just don't have any idea if it took damage. I don't think it landed right here. This seems much more valuable. Tank, and base skip. Oh, it did land over here. It struck right here. Tracking tank, battlecopter, which is him over here. Tank, battlecopter. Recon infantry is less valued than an artillery piece. Okay. That's actually really bad of Von Bolt. He really needed it over here. And the battlecopter gets shot down. That was a really not good Ex Machina. I wonder if he planned this. Use the move planner to see where it would strike. Olaf did capture this Calm Tower as well, so he has 2 Calm Towers in favor, plus troops and firepower versus Von Bolt's +10/+10. Tank, medium tank infantry. I don't think medium tank is a good idea. Too slow. I can understand battle copters and other assets are mobile. And Von Bolt simply has not been able to capitalize these properties right now. Olaf does have 23,000 versus 20,000. This property right here is still despicable neutral. Blizzard's not available. If Olaf believes he can close out the game relatively quickly, he can pop Blizzard to slow down his opponent as between +10/+10. 1 tank there. Oh, it just straight up went to Olaf's turn and still played Von Bolt's music. And a little bit bug in the replay. Oh well, it looks like it's working still fine enough. Trying to find some good forward positions here. There's something anti-air allows battle copter more free range. Just be careful about his opponent's battle copter, which he does have vision of. It's the black boat. Takes out the recon there. Sack tank there. Medium tank getting down south. Oh! Did he have that much power charge? I was not paying attention to that. That's probably game-winning Winter Fury. I was not paying attention to that. He just used it not too long ago. And now Von Bolt is in a really not good position, and not to mention it'll be very slow this turn. And I think the replay bugged out again. But hit next turn. Okay, replay bugged out again, but I was able to hit next turn and continue the game. Can't move forward anymore. And I think Von Bolt has resigned. There's been some issues lately with the replay viewer. Yep, at this point in time, I ended the replay, and looks like Von Bolt did surrender. Is Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to next replay. Before I get started next replay, I do need to utilize the restroom. Please give me a moment. My apologies, I am back. Alright, on to the next replay. Oh yeah, this map, I just look at it as like, this map seems a little bit weird. Let's zoom in for a little bit. There we go. That makes it easier on me. Okay, and if I remember correctly, I did shrink this down a little bit, so let's get that there, put that there. And that seems reasonable enough. Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Advanced Wars by Web replay on a very strange map. Spawn on the north side as the Orange Star Kindle, we got Freerom. Spawn on the south side as the, was this Acid Rain? Is that what it's called again? Yes, Acid Rain Rachel, we got Daniel Moreno. Or Morano. Moreno. Either way, this map is a little bit awkward, so let's take a little bit extra time just take a look at what this map is. It's pretty dense with properties, that's for sure. Both players start out with... Actually, player 2... Let's see... Okay, player 1 starts out with 0 bases? What? Both players start with a tank on top of their opponent's city to engage the pipe seam. Player 1 starts out with no bases and will capture his opponent's 2 bases immediately. It's a forced capture since it's a base owned by his opponent. On the south side, player 2 starts with a base, but only 1 infantry unit to capture the neutral base. This is weird, and both players do have an APC in the corner, which can be let free by an artillery piece, of course. There's also an airport in the corner as well as a pipe seam here, which will turn into planes afterwards, but still, this is a weird map. Let's get going. Kindle, of course, is the urban specialist. She gets plus 40% firepower when tagged from urbanized terrain. And of course, Rachel does get plus 1 repair, does so consume the increased costs for the repairs, but she does have good repairs. And both these players' tanks are not excuse me. Both players' tanks are not pushing forward and engaging the pipe seam. Wait. Pipe seams are 84 health? Wait. Were they always 84 health? I don't remember them attacking him. But according to this, the pipe seams are 84 health. Why? I guess into our exact math for the tanks. But both players are just having a reconnaissance tank. There's our artillery piece there, which will displace the tank to engage the pipe seam now. And of course, the tank will move forward and strike. If he stays there, base locks this opponent, but still probably gotta just move the artillery piece there. Does do that immediately. It says the tanks are at full ammo. 68 fuel. Wait, don't tank 68 fuel. That seems off as well. Something's just not right here. Yeah, I think I'm missing something because it says 68 fuel. Tanks usually also have 9 ammo, right? Yeah. It says 10 health, but has 68 fuel and 8 ammo, so it's missing 2 fuel and 1 ammo. What is going on? Strikes it normally, looks like. Sorry, I'm just a little bit confused with this map. And now the more I look at this map, there's also rivers here, preventing vehicles from traversing this way, but they can at least still go around this way, so not great pathing in both directions. So even though this map is relatively small, it still takes a long time to get out now there. Did fire upon the pipe seam here, which left at 84 health. And did put a round to the pipe seam there. Something just seems off about this replay, or this map. I don't know how to describe it. Does strike the tank there, knocks it out. And of course that city is behind his own property. This map is a 2-base map, 1 airport, so good chance there's going to be a good number of battlecopters this game. And Kindle does have our battlecopters supported and boosted from urbanized terrain, even though it flies. Both players conjure up a column tower. Does spot the infantry unit there, put some rounds into this pipe scene now, going to set free the APC. Very different things. Which is nice, but not a really critical asset to really try to set free. Battlecopter recon infantry. Breaking this pipe seam allows better traversement into this side of the map. Got the HQ here. It does have a black bone on top, so it's able to not be immediately captured by infantry. Anti-air infantry. We do have a battlecopter down south. That was a good clear deployment there. And the battlecopter does strike the pipe seam. Does get a strike on the infantry unit there. Recon infantry battlecopter. Battlecopter tank infantry. Puts around the pipe seam. So now the APC can push its way out. APCs were also on top of a city there, so global damage would have actually drained some extra funds there. Now the APCs can go around and resupply everything. We've got 95,000 on the field by Rachel. Kindle starts turn with 85,000. Has 16 versus 17,000 funds as well. Takes a good strike there, but maybe push too far forward in range of artillery piece and battlecopters. Does take out that unit there. Trying to capture up that neutral property. Artillery piece push right forward. Should be out of vision range of everything. But the problem is, this tank's under threat by another artillery piece and battlecopters, so nothing for artillery piece engaged. Does get a good shot there with this artillery piece. Recon takes a strike there. Does go down there. Goes down there. ETR's in range of one of the battlecopters. Tank battlecopter infantry. ATR takes up the battlecopter. Urban Blight's not available. Actually, Urban Blight should affect the black boats, right? Since it's on top of HQ. Let's start whittling down that. Battlecopter ATR infantry. Good strike down the anti-air. Takes out the anti-air entirely. Does spot the artillery piece. Good shot there. Stops the sector from being captured. And being spoiled, units are next to the city, which means it can be pushed out of. We use to project some power for either direction. Battlecopter tank infantry. Kindle's turn. She could pop a high society this turn. Probably best go for Urban Blight. High society is pretty good. Takes out that one unit there. What she's going to go for? Urban Blight or High Society? Let's find out. Oh, she had it. Is she not going for it this turn? Does pop Urban Blight, which is generally the better choice. Though High Society is still pretty good. Going to get a lot of good amount of global damage, and plus also increase our boost damage from 40% to 80%. And this War Infantry unit could get some good damage on that full health one. That's going to be finished off there. How much damage would that do? Did that do? I wonder. Could have got more damage done by striking the other recon, but I kind of saying finishing it off. Because that's plus 80%, plus 10% for activating the power. There's shots there. Anti-air is pushed way forward. He's not entering in there. Not get on top of the comp tower to nuke something. Instorm 102,000. Kindle starts turn of 80,000. And here comes Covering Fire. It strikes, what was it, infantry first? And then health and damage, right? Covering Fire there. I think it triple tapped that tank. I think that tank was at full health, right? Nope, it was at 4. But that infantry unit got hit twice at least. ATR got hit twice. Looks like some stuff up here got hit. And not sure where the last one may have landed. Takes out some of these outlying units. Recon tank. Kindle ends turn for 91,000, or Rachel ends turn for 91,000. Kindle starts turn for 68, so she got hit pretty hard with that Covering Fire. This ATR could still get a good booster strike onto one of these battle copters. Get some good damage, not a kill though, but still a good idea. Looks like one of the Covering Fire rockets hit the tank up here. Sacks that unit there for the Urban Blight, which will whittle down a couple of these properties being captured. Black Boat's now down to 4 health. Battlecopter, back recon. And start for 80,000. Kindle starts to turn 81, so Kindle still has, or Rachel says, a pretty good advantage. That was a reconnaissance run for the Battlecopter. We'll spot a whole bunch of 1 health units. And this ATR is still hidden. So should be able to take out that Battlecopter, one of these Battlecopters. Got a full health mech here, but nothing to strike this anti-air. No tank can strike the anti-air. One infantry unit gets on top of the mountain, takes out the Battlecopter, no problem. Battlecopter goes down. Mech going for a train of mechs. Mechs counter everything, will be countered by everything. Another mech there. APC is actually down to 1 health. That thing got hit by rockets, didn't it? A bunch of Covering Fire. Kindle ends the turn from 92,000. Rachel starts the turn of 77. A lot of property captures. Sound like 4 has right now 2. Both player has 1 comm tower. Did she just now capture her comm tower? Or was that in Kindle's hand? Either way, got some good damage there. Kindle's starting to get overran. Mech can take out the Aether next turn. Yep, Mech can take out the Aether, then the Aether can take out the Battlecopter. Could possibly see another Urban Blight this turn. Oh wait, no, there's a tank in the way. What am I thinking? Some good kills there. Mech loaded on the 1 health APC. It's still at 10%, but still not great. Another Mech Battlecopter infantry. No Urban Blight. I don't think Rachel can get out another Covering Fire this turn. Probably the following. Artillery piece on the floor, ammo. And fall back to the Black Boat to get that resupplied. Battlecopter anti-air infantry. Polygos anti-air. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, Battlecopter in range and anti-air. Of course, that's with our cast division. There are supplies there. Another Battlecopter, tank, and infantry. Battle couple goes down. Possibility of a covering fire this turn, though not too many things are visible for Kindle, so maybe not. Takes out artillery piece while putting around into the tank. And thing as well, this is urbanized terrain, which means Kindle get a boost strike there. With an Urban Blight, she could probably one-shot that tank. Urban Blight has been activated. Black Bolt's now down to 1 health. Ooh, how much damage was that? A 117% minimum. Easy one-shot. No easy one-shot. Battlecry takes out the tank there. Urbanized strike there, does not take it out. Interrupts the capture there, so remain neutral. Boost strike there, multiple good hits there. That's the power of Kindle. The urbanized terrain benefit is such a powerful ability. And hits the resign button. Okay, so with next covering fire, the sheep probably would not have won. This is Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Well, let's not do this one. Live on the shorter side that one actually is. Let's do this one. Why is this melee plays in the power music? Why? Okay, bit of a bug replay if it's immediately playing power. Not sure if that matters. That seems pretty good to me. Let's get started. Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Advance Wars by Web replay. So on the north side as the Orange Star Jake, we got Ambition. On the south side is the Yellow Comet Adder, we got Grey Goo. Spawns the Gray Sky Adder, we got Grey Goo. Either way, let's go ahead and get started. Jake is, of course, the playing specialist. This may be the Daisy Ash sort of color scheme tiles, but these are still playing the red tiles. Jake, of course, gets plus 10% firepower from attacking planes. It gets a plus increase 20% with his beatdown, 30% up to his block rock. He does not get any movement speed on vehicles on his power, but does get plus 1 indirect range, which can be useful, but it's actually a little bit more situational. While Block Rock increases the range to plus 1 still, also give all his land vehicles plus 2 move speed, so he has a weird mixed bag of abilities. Adder, of course, is the premier movement CO. Power gives you plus 1 movement range. Superpower gives you plus 2 movement range. That's it. It's generally a good idea to spam out side slip unless you absolutely need the extra power or the extra movement range for one power move. Oop, does get trapped there, which will not be interrupted there. Nice thing about his Adder's power charge is so small, he can simply charge up all the way, pop the power, then he has enough turn for another power for a follow-up punch, and get a bit more power charge before popping power. Both players trapped in the exact same spot. Talk about mirror matchup and movement. I have not been paying close enough attention seeing if they are moving exactly the same. Will Adder unload an infantry unit here and here? No, he will not. Just the recons are being moved mirror matchup. Just one infantry, not both infantry. Do now tank the blood up by Adder down south. Did put it around into that infantry unit there. Both players do start with a cruise on top of the HQ, which offers decent amount of vision, as well as good amount of defense, as well as some anti-air capability. Got now Jake tank up here, and looks like Jake also fired a round onto that infantry unit there. Adder did take a shot there from the shore, which is 0 stars from the 1 star of the planes. Jake, of course, fired from the planes, now for the 1 star defense, but also get his plus 10% firepower. So effectively, while his units are on planes, they're equal to Lash. Only on planes, though. A lot of property capture there, up to 14,000 versus 12. More infantry being dropped into the center of the map. Got another tank, infantry. Takes out that unit there, strikes there. Looks like Adder has a pretty good grasp on the side of the map. And do now tank deployed out there to engage Jake's tanks. It looks like Adder does go for a battle copter down south. Take infantry, and this base has not been emptied. Base skip. Down 300 funds there. That tank is in a very good position now. Now the lander cannot unload, and it'd be difficult to displace since it's on top of the forest. Recon gets a good strike there. Tank strikes tank. Drops off tank and infantry there. There's 2 shores here. Those areas traversable to the right. Also put on the far side of the lander, which means it's going to be out of range of stuff, but we'll be safe enough on the side of the lander. Looks like it's not fully unloaded there, right? There's nope, doesn't look like there's anything left in there. Battlecraft gets a good strike there. Jake does not have ATR on the map. Oh, there was an artillery piece there. Highlighting the lander did not reveal anything. So Jake will probably go for his own battlecopter, and does spot the artillery piece there. Will hit the artillery piece now. Yeah, I spelled a black boat there. Lander, of course, needs a bit of a refuel, which he could use the black boat for, rather than taking time to get on top of the seaport. Does get trapped there. Both of these properties may go for Adder. Adder does already have 19,000 versus 17,000. And looks like Jake is trying to capture this property. Does get up by the last remaining shot from that artillery piece. This infantry unit could start capturing up this city. Tank infantry. Takes time to resupply that one, still should be able to drop off. Tank finish off that artillery piece. Tank infantry. Artillery tank dropped off. Battlecopter heading to the center. Jake does have his own battlecopter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Adder's superpower battlecopter can range his opponent's battlecopter. Of course, it's probably not going to happen. Adder ends turn for 126,000. Jake starts turn 121. So it looks like Jake's in a good position. Takes off some of his outlying units. Takes out that recon. We do have now Adder's power available. Battlecopter. Right now we do have 2 battlecopters versus 2 battlecopters. Recon goes down in 1 shot since it's on 0 stars defense. Tank does a good shot there, receive a good shot. Some infantry units are starting to be picked on off. Now pops the power. This battlecopter should be in range of this battlecopter, but here comes the power, which would probably be meant for the infantry. So the tank there. Artillery piece hitting to the missile silo platform. Anti-air artillery tank. And drops the infantry unit from the T-copter. Battlecopter strikes battlecopter. Tank strikes tank. Tank finish off tank. Adder still has a 3,000 income lead. Battlecopter, recon, infantry. Good strike there on that tank. He does have anti-air range, so that battlecopter will be going down next turn. Finish some of these outlying infantry units off. Jake has managed to drop off a tank and infantry unit there. Jake now has his block rock available. Tank, battlecopter, infantry. Adder's turn of 145,000. Jake starts turn of 123. Those block rock can help even stuff out. Gets a shot there. Oh, wait. Just a beatdown. Okay. He doesn't get increased vehicle movement range. He doesn't need to go travel very far. So he's going to save some power charge up and just pop the regular power. Gets a good strike there. Booster strike. Plus Trimson booster strike there. Takes the recon. Good booster strike there. Takes out the tank. Gets some good damage there. Battlecopter gets a good strike on that tank and finish it off. Overall, looks like the beatdown was a good call. He didn't necessarily need the extra firepower or the mobility. And able to retain half his power charge means he's almost halfway primed. Adder, of course, can pop his power out this turn and probably get another power in the next turn. To squeeze out what power charge he can get before popping it. Drops some infantry units there. Tank, battlecopter, infantry, artillery. Adder's been definitely pulling out a good enough battlecopter in the field. Right now he does have 4. Jake only has the 3. The one out of his battlecopters down to 1 health. Very good wall infantry there. Jake's Neo Tank 4 deploys along the infantry unit, of course. I think can be very helpful. This one only has battlecopters and artillery to really take it out. Tank, battlecopter, infantry. And Adder still has a 3,000 income lead, but Jake ends turn of 163,000. Adder starts turn of 142, so Jake is starting to pull ahead. does get trapped there, spawning the Neo tank. He probably wish he did that first. So one of those tanks will be going down next turn. Battlecopter, artillery, infantry. Recon pushes down south. We'll spot a whole lot of nothing because this is a whole lot of nothing there. Neo tank strikes the regular tank there. Adam now has the superpower. Probably a good idea to just go for regular power for the most part. Obviously needs +2 range. Artillery, anti-air, artillery. Side slip has been activated. Another side slip is available next turn. Able to strike that regular tank there. Takes out the infantry unit there. Artillery trying to range the Neo tank. Battlecopter, recon, mech, artillery. Will we see a beat down this turn, or will we just see him just soar up his power charge? Probably a good idea to soar up the power charge. Recon does get some good spotting there. There's just so much adder infantry right now. He has 42 military units in the field versus 34. Adder's been doing a good job preserving his military force, though he is still behind in value. Battled by about 8 turns worth. Granted, most of Jake's value is sunk into a Neo tank, which is going to make his force significantly smaller as well. Little boost there. Tank, recon, infantry, T-copter. Mech and artillery push way forward. Recon, battlecopter, infantry, mech. No side slip. Recon does spot a whole lot of infantry now. Tanks rotating around. Maybe a little bit too many tanks. And this Jake just setting up a wall. Another recon, battlecopter, infantry. Artillery gets a good strike in the recon. Mechs finish it off and trying to flip the property. Do a flip. Mech gets dropped off there by the black boat. It looks like Addis was overall rotating around. Bomber. I was not expecting a bomber this turn. So Adder's gone for a bomber. He does have to contend with 2 anti-air, but bombers are decent for some anti-air, and of course his power and superpower can help him just, well, side slip into a anti-air for tank. Push way forward, so the infantry is in range of the artillery piece. Mech does get struck by the battlecopter. Infantry. Tank, battlecopter, infantry. Adder starts with 111 or 211, while Jake says in the term 218, so differences are not too significant at the moment. Good strike there. Interrupts the capture there. Battlecopter strikes Battlecopter. And now do you have a blocked rock available, which plus 2 movement range could help Jake advance towards Adder. Bomber right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the Aether can range the bomber if there's a clear path and somehow takes out a lander. So we'll probably see a block rock this turn. Block rock casted. Now he has plus 2 movement range, and as well as some plus 1 range of some of his indirects. He doesn't have too many indirects on the field though. Here's one, so it's out of range. This one, however, is able to, well, still just range the infantry unit, nothing more. So what's the plus 1 indirect range not going to be important. Takes the mech there. Anti-air takes out the T-copter. Tank strikes artillery. Tank strikes artillery. Plus 50% firepower from planes being very useful right now. And not to mention plus 2 movement range. Takes out the B-copter. Recon strikes the infantry unit there. Anti-air rotates around. Looks like Jake's trying to front switch. Over here, there's a good number of artillery pieces here, but the artillery pieces are slow. Infantry fighter. Oh, why did he go for fire? He has not seen the bomber yet. Maybe he has assumed his opponent's gone for something expensive. We do now have a regular power activated, which is probably a good idea. His opponent's not too far forward in front of him. Bomber strikes the tank there. Mech gets a great strike there in the anti-air and does get finished off by a Battlecopter. Takes time to be loaded on up, but he will not dismount that black boat. Battlecopter artillery, tank, and tank. Jake's turn. Neo tanks and ranges some assets. Takes out on that recon. Did not finish off though. Does get gunned down there. Fire rotating around. T-copter falls back course. And looks like just overall just falling back. Shifts this infantry wall to the left. Infantry, Battlecopter, anti-air. Good strike there on that recon, does finish off. And we'll start flipping that property. Right now, Adder only has the 1 anti-air, so just avoiding it will allow the fire free range over everything. Bomber now advancing. Jake's turn. Adder did pull out another Battlecopter, recon, mech, and infantry. Resupplies the T-copter. Lander will be resupplied next turn. Just a bit of a repositioning, nothing too significant this turn. And then the battlecopter recon infantry. Strikes the infantry unit there. And this property is currently at 2 capture progress remaining. So he's effectively going to have to typically take it out unless it gets put down to 1 health. Bomber rotating around. We do now have a Neo-Tank infantry recon. Get some good hits there. And it looks like both players just simply not willing to commit. So they have one big build-up. What is the unit count on this map? Unit limit is 50, so Adderday only has 1 more unit he can pull on the field. So Adder probably should eye for expensive unit, maybe another bomber, maybe another Neo-Tank. He can't afford either. He has 21,800 as opposed to 22, and I don't think I suppose he could capture this property then merge, and he will have enough money then. Actually, it's a good truck there in the anti-air. They're trying to push way forward on the right flank. Does have some artillery over here to retaliate a counterattack against the counterattack. He did manage to get a bomb on the field, so he must have done some merges was where I was not paying attention. My apologies. Jake's turn, 21,700. He has 3 more unit population he can deploy on the field, though some of his units are quite wounded. Now has the superpower available. All good idea, just go for regular power and then charge forward. But gotta make sure he gets a lot of damage done, or else the counterattack would be quite fierce. Oh, what was that? Did he lose a unit? Blackbolt says that's 0 fuel. I did not realize that. Whoops. I think it bugged out where it went from 0 fuel to full fuel and exploded. I think it bugged out down there. We do now have the side slip now deployed on the field, so get plus movement range. So it looks like Adder's going to he's going to start the conflict. He's got to make sure to get as much damage as possible can, because his opponent's going to be nice and close range during his turn if he does not do enough damage. Counterattack can be fierce. Bomber advancing, battle cover recon anti-air. Trying to flip the property there. He has 23,000 income versus 19. Jake's turn. Was that attack enough? Block rocks now available. Pops a beatdown again. Which, he does not necessarily need the +2 movement range. Maybe it does. Artillery piece won't get much usage out of the +1 range here. Though this one will. So +1 range is useful. Stops the capture entirely. No boost strike this, it's not top planes. Does not take out the battle copter. Was that a bad luck roll? No. It was going to be pretty reliable and not be one-shotted. It's the power, plus 10% defense for the power. That's why it survived quite well there. So yeah, it looks like it rolled one bad luck, one good luck. Maybe not necessarily bad luck or good luck. That one might be just a little bit wounded. So the front lines have definitely constricted, but Adder has a pretty nice force right here. Battlecopter, more infantry. Ends turn for 8,000 bank. He's going to go for something expensive. Ends turn of 22-4 or 224 on the field, and Adder starting turn of 146, 246. So he's in a great position. He has 2 bombers and a Neotank. Well, Jake only has 1 Neotank and a fighter to counter. Put some guys into the battlecopter there, getting a lot of extra power charge. Power save. Jake's battlecopter from going down, but can be just picked off by infantry unit. Looks like there's going to be no power this turn. Jake's turn. Could see another beatdown this turn. As a good strikes along the left flank. ATR gets a range to the artillery piece. Tank will put a round into it. Get some great strikes on the left flank. Only a mech in the region to do some damage, and a 2 health artillery piece is probably going to need to fall back. Jake does have a good line of infantry here. Infantry, battlecopter, infantry, medium tank. One of these bombers actually getting a little bit low in fuel, has 30 fuel remaining. So we may need to get a forward APC or get the black boat somewhat close to the shoreline. A lot of good kills there. Of course, retaliation will be quite swift. A beatdown will allow the artillery piece to range from those tanks. Pops the side slip. Mech takes out the ATR, very nice. Oh, I got a strike on those infantry units there. On the target rich environment for Jake. It could be a possible block rock next turn. He's getting pretty close. Deletes the cruiser for more. You know, I'm not so sure why he deleted the cruiser. Maybe that's just a perfect spot for the black boat to get into refuel range. Could see a block rock in turn. We may see a beatdown. Gets off some outlying units there. Gets a good strike there. Sacking a lot of units there. It goes for the beatdown again, rather than block rock. Of course, now this artillery piece will be in range. You should have vision of this tank there. There's always a bit of a vision bug in the replays. Does get a good strike there, leaving at 1% health. Get a boosted strike as well with that artillery piece. Neotank held in reserve, fighter as well. There's a lot of Adder artillery here. Now there's just another side slip. A lot of powers this game, which makes sense for Adder, but surprisingly for Jake. Here comes the bomber. Fighter should be able to range that bomber. Just gotta make sure to take out those ETers. Artillery piece may be ranged. That was a good strike there. He has also a good number of zone ATers in this region, so there's a good chance for another beatdown or possibly even block rock, depending on how much damage is done. Artillery piece goes down there. Adder ends his turn of 146 in the field. Jake starts a turn of 177, so he's pretty far behind. May see another beat down this turn, just one needs a little bit extra power charge. There's enough power charge. Taking out all these aircraft is a good way to get a good amount of power charge there. Takes out the bomber, takes out the battlecopter. A lot of assets went down there for Adder. All the ATers effectively knocked out as well, so this battlecopter and fighter has free reign. Tank, infantry, and another fighter. I disagree with the other fighter. He has one very healthy fighter there. Another fighter was definitely a bad call. That could be a game-ending build there, because that's 20,000 funds now pretty much worthless. Sure, his fighter will probably receive a strike there from this anti-air, but that wouldn't be game-ending. Block rock now available. Side slip has been popped. Neo tank strikes the medium tank, not the Neo tank. ATR does take a good hit there. And here comes a bomber. Takes out the Neo tank. I would say, yeah, if this was something else, it could have been a lot more useful. Does get a strike there on the fighter, but it's 8 health fighter. Does fully surround it, but has a prime target there. At max luck, can get a one-shot. Both power and or superpower should be very reliable. There's the block rock. Yep, now it's an easy one-shot. Use that fighter there. Use the other one to take out the battlecopter. It paid. That fighter did pay for itself, but still don't think it was a good build. And does go ahead and resign there. This Angrade saying, "Thank you for watching," and on to the next replay. My apologies. Please give a moment to use the restroom again. My apologies, I'm back. Let's see. Right now, I think I have enough time for one more replay for tonight. I have... Let's see, I think this was a good one right here. Yeah, this was a good one. Oh, I don't like that sound bug. Give me a moment. There we go. If I ever hear a weird sound issue, I always restart the replay because it tends to cause sound issues later on. There we go, that seems quite reasonable. Let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Advance Wars by Web replay. On the bottom right side is the Silver Call Olaf. We got Savage the Beasts. On the top left side is the Orange Star Max. We got Muji 6. Either way, let's get started. This is a triple base map. Both players do start with a scouting black boat. There's also a neutral airport in the corner of the map. There are also plenty of pipe scenes here, so you can deploy out a pipe runner if you so choose to utilize these pipe scenes. Should you? No, I'm just joking around. Both players' HQ is off the side as well, so somewhat exposed, but I've rarely ever seen that become a point of contention in the replays that I cast. Then again, I do cast replays which have a decent amount of rating and length to them, so it just may not be a real possibility as the game goes on, as in the type of replays I cast. Do now have a recon here, artillery piece here, in a position to both shell the black boat and the pipe scene. Max is going for max gun reconnaissance, 2 recons, 1 field, and we do actually have an early mech by Olaf, which he used to shoot the pipe scene. He's going to try to push forward. There's only a handful of force here, so it's not a really good map for mechs, but he's using the mech to put rounds on this pipe scene. That's interesting. And he did deploy a tank here. It's probably better to deploy a tank here, and the infantry unit could have deployed there. I don't like the spawn locations. It takes forever for a tank to go around, but this pipe scene should go down next turn, so we have the shorter path. And both of these bases are equal movement in order to escape out of there. The pipe team's destroyed. So that may be the plan. Still may have been better for the tank here and the infantry there, because it's probably better to get the infantry over here unless he wants to push up north of it. Let's just keep an eye on which direction this infantry goes. Got a max tank. Recon does hit this infantry in there. Howdy! Does get a good shot there. Pipe scene does go down. Tank does push forward. And let's see which way this infantry is going. It is going top leftward, so I think he should have put the infantry unit there, but maybe this is some sort of specific plan for it. Recon's straight forward. He did pull or join cap onto this little comm tower there. Does hit it again. Does go ahead and put down the 5 health, so we will get the capture next turn, and we'll find the tank next turn. Tank takes out the recon. And now the artillery piece is taking time to pick off the black boat. Artillery piece there, infantry and tank. Here a lot of properties being captured. It's at 13 versus 13, 14 to 13. Both players have the comm tower now. The reconnaissance does find this infantry unit there. And don't see any tanks nearby to retaliate upon it. At least not this turn. Black boat goes down. He has gone for double artillery. Battlecopter. Infantry, infantry, infantry. Not a big fan of Savage the Beast pipe scene build against her aggro max as well. It is slow, and max is of course eyeing for maximum aggression. And the artillery pieces are a little bit slow. The mech is of course also slow, so definitely Olaf's play is slow. But that's also more or less Olaf. He wants more blizzards rather than the game to go quickly. Let's see how long he can prolong the game for his blizzards. Max, of course, is not wearing any proper winter clothing. And he's actually taking time and put rounds into this pipe scene as well. This will improve its deployment. After all, it will be replaced with planes, so rather than going through double force, it will go through force into planes. So it makes it easier exfiltration. And as well as, doesn't really matter if it's like, oh, this may be more diagonally this way. This game does not have slopes, so there is no Pythagorean theorem for faster, more reduced distances. I don't know how else to describe that other than the lack of Pythagorean theorem, if that makes any more sense. Decides to push forward the infantry unit there in that property rather than capture one of these properties. That's sort of interesting. Guess he wants this one for combat. Anti-air tank infantry. We do have a battlecopter on the field by Olaf. I would assume two of them at least. I would assume Max would have gotten more battlecopters in the field by now. Or a battlecopter. Interrupts the capture there. Max has 16. Olaf's at 15 at the moment. Battlecopter, infantry. So a lot of battlecopters by Olaf. Problem of Max playing battlecopters in this situation is, of course, Olaf can really slow them down with snow. Battlecopter, recon, infantry. Good artillery shot there in the recon, and will be gunned down. We've got triple Max tanks here, so he has a lot of units to push forward. Max still is at 1 ammo, so has not been resupplied just yet. Generally, they get one shot off before dying either way, so not a huge issue. This could be an issue. Recon does get hit. Now it's just fall back and just become a recon. Probably trying to be flipped there. Tank, infantry. Max does have 24,000. I'm guessing Neo tank on one of these factories. Good shot there. One health recon does finish off with one health infantry unit. One health infantry unit trying to capture this property. It will take another 19 turns. I feel the one health infantry unit is going to take out the one health infantry unit. If not, the one health infantry unit will take out the one health infantry unit. I highly doubt either will, one of them, both will live through that fight. And I thought there was going to be a Neo tank, and this Neo tank is probably going to be used to break the pipe scene. Because if you wanted the Neo tank to push forward in any direction, it'd be best to deploy out on this base there. So, Neo tank is going to be striking the pipe scene. Battlecopter may follow up as well. Wait, Max Neo tanks, can it one-shot pipe scenes? I forget. It may be able to. Maybe combine with Max Force, definitely. Pipe scene math is something I just don't know off the top of my head. Artillery gets a good strike there on that tank, very nice, and Battlecopter really finished off. Blizzard's now available. Max is a much higher power charge, so he's taking a lot more losses. Finish off the recon there. Anti-air is in range of the battlecopters. T-copter deployed out by Olaf. We could see a Max Force increasing his bonus damage from 20% to 30% and give all of his units +1 move range, or at least all of his direct ones. Barring infantry, right? He excludes infantry for everything. Yes. Does get some good damage there, so it looks like there'll be no Max Force designed for a Max Blast, so maybe just more power charge for a 1-2 punch, which generally can be a little bit better. Neo Tank. Plus the pipe scene down 28 health. Probably be good to have the Battlecopter finish that off. And Max Blast is available. No, he's not. Okay, please destroy it with the tank next turn. Don't finish off the Neo tank. Let something else take it out. Good shot there. The mech is now out of ammo, but down to 2 health. Totally gets a good shot there. And there's Winter Fury. He's at 84,000. With 15,000 in the bank. He's got a good number of outlying units. Got to finish off that unit there. And now this Neo tank's down to 8 health. Tank infantry. Olaf ends turn for 89,000 on the field. Max starts with 70,000. Does pop a max force rather than max blast. Go for the 1-2 punch. And does use the Neo tank to take out the pipe seam. Oh, I could have been able to take it out with the tank there. Battlecopter, tank, infantry. Does flip some properties there. Artillery strikes the tank there. Recon takes a pretty good hit there as well. Olaf is doing very well this game. And now able to capture some of the despicable neutral properties in the map. Though look at this, Olaf has 15,000 versus Max is 21,000, and he has a higher value in the field. He's been playing this game very well. And also still has a good number of frontline units there, all of them wounded, but they can at least be a bit of a meat shield. Recon APC. Oh, some of his units are getting low on ammo, so if you have to take time to resupply your units of ammo, they've done some good work. Tank does finish off that mech. Good hit there on the infantry unit there. Has 10 kept progress remaining, so basically has been interrupted for quite some time. Tank, anti-air, infantry. Olaf starts there 106 versus Max's 94. So yeah, Olaf is in incredibly good position and taking very good engagements. Trying to join capture there, finish off that tank, and body blocks a little bit further. Down to 7 cut progress, so it'll be 2 turns and fully flip the property. Battlecopter gets a good strike there as well. Max now can bring another max force. Anti-air does strike this battlecopter, gets an easy pick there. Takes out this anti-air. Neo tank takes up the regular tank. Battlecopter is pushing down south. Tanks, infantry advancing. A lot of good strikes there. Instead of 109,000, Olaf now got called down to 87, so great push there by Max. And he's not necessarily super close to a Winter Fury, just somewhat close. Striking the Battlecopter with another artillery strike wouldn't be half bad. It's on top of a 3-star property. Of course, at 8 health, it does get reduced effectiveness from the defense stars. Strikes the anti-air as well. Takes out the anti-air. Artillery gets a good strike there. Trying to body block in that Neo tank. Looks like he has him surrounded, at least from the side. Oh, it does get fully surrounded there. Of course, these 2 health units can easily picked on off. infantry, battlecopter, tank, and infantry. Meteor strikes the other battlecopter, very nice. Now he's just down to one, the fresh one. And does go ahead and break free the Neo tank. Good shot there by the Neo tank, gets on top of the property for a bit of health gen while at it, and completely stops the capture of that property. Now have Winter Fury available. Both sides have been losing quite a bit of stuff recently. The Winter Fury will stabilize the game for Olaf. He's pretty far behind in income, still 5,000 less income, or nearly 25%. Max ends turn of 98,000, but will probably go down to at least 80,000. I'm not sure. I think the APC is mostly meant for resupply for that one artillery piece. It's down to one ammo, but not exactly sure. Let's see how well the Winter Fury does. Of course, this also puts the Neo tank at 3 health, making it very vulnerable even if it's on top of a city. But I don't see anything in the region of finish it off. According to this, Max has 75,000. Of course, is always a little bit inaccurate when it comes to Fog of War until it gets to the start of his turn. Battlecopter, infantry. So 6,000 funds, infantry. And looks like Olaf's turn starts with 80,000 after resupply. Olaf ends his turn with 88,000. Of course, Max's day-to-day income, so they're still pretty even. And Olaf has been severely behind in income. Neo tank did consume a lot of funds there, that's for sure. Looks like Max does fall back a little bit there. And sort of skimped out on deployments there. He ends the turn of 11,000 in his bank. So he may be eyeing for a chain of Neo tanks, maybe a bomber. He only has 21,000, so that will perhaps give him a good chain of Neo tank deployments. Hard to say exactly. Max bombers are a little bit overkill, which means they're very good. And I suppose going for expensive units or cheap units doesn't really matter because Winter Fury just calls off 20%. Units that stay alive longer and at fraction health is where Winter Fury starts even doing more damage. Because after all, 2 tanks both get called by 2 health, while a single medium tanks only get called by 2 health. In which both sides lose still, both instances loses 20% health, 20% value. But if there's a bunch of units at 5 health, then it starts doing a little bit of extra health damage. As opposed to like 2 5 health tanks versus 1 full health tank. Battlecopter, infantry, tank. So nothing heavy deployment there. APC reapplies the artillery piece, which may have been, it was either 1 ammo or no ammo. A very good artillery piece, that's for sure. It looks like both these anti-airs are in range of the battlecopter, so they can be shot down. Good strike in the infantry unit there. Anti-air takes out the battlecopter. Max force now available. Also got a decent amount of infantry up here to capture up and flip these properties. Is exactly what Olaf needs. He's also trying to flip this property once again. Got quite a bit of max units here, and he has nothing really stopped in the moment. He tries to capture once again. Good strike down the tank. Neo tank is another good kill there. Well, he can always try and capture onto this thing, but it's probably not worth it this one time. And looks like the artillery piece will get another attack on it. This thing's gotten at least 10 shots off this game, I believe. And I almost got 10 kills, honestly, as well. This artillery piece has been very effective. Four Alpha Infantry unit, they just take out the 2 Alpha Infantry unit there. Good battlecopter attack, and machine guns that tank down. Mech, battlecopter, infantry. Good shot, takes out the anti-air. Anti-air overkills that 1 health infantry unit there, and does finish off that recon. There's an infantry unit there, there's nothing to stop these forces. You now have a max blast available, so probably go out next turn. Just need to prime things for a pretty good advance. Max in turn 120,000. Olaf starts the turn with 108. So they're back down to turn differences. Max is even out the playing field, while Olaf evened out the income. Trying to flip that properly once again. Now there's a mech in range. Decopper's getting a bit low on fuel, so we can use to get the APC. 30 fuel. Does burn 2 fuel per turn. Part of me wonders, why don't they just make battlecopters, if they run out of fuel, if they're on plains, roads, or other, say, non-obstructive properties like, or terrain like forests or mountains, if they run out of fuel, they just be in a landed state as a unique mechanic. Oh well. Goes for the max force power rather than max blast. Give him +1 range, +10% firepower for his direct units. And of course, get the +10 for active power and or superpower. Strikes the mech there for good damage, and the capping squad. Takes out the capping squad. Neo tank nukes the light tank. Tank infantry. Good strikes there. Let's take out the anti-air. And there's the Winter Fury. Olaf right now is 107 with his day-to-day income, so it's going to be up 120. Olaf, or Max, going to be down cold quite a bit. This property may actually be captured. 1 health infantry unit will have trouble interrupting that. Infantry tank. Recon takes up that 3 health infantry unit there. Neo tank nukes the regular tank. Takes out 1 battlecopter, so another max blast is available. Does not interrupt the capture there, so this property will be flipped next turn, equalizing their income. Tank anti-air infantry. Max ends turn 116,000. Olaf starts turn 105, so still day-to-day differences. But now the income is even. APC is actually running low on fuel. Takes out the anti-air. He maxes those 2 battlecopters in the region to take on the battlecopter. And the artillery piece does get respawned again. He's been getting really good work done with this artillery piece. It's probably at 10 kills so far this game. Battlecopter, tank, infantry. Does get trapped there. Spots infantry unit. anti-air infantry, tank. Battlecopter strike the battlecopter. Does get finished off there. Does take out that tank. And the 1 health mech at least will get some good scouting done before it goes down. Infantry, anti-air, tank, or battlecopter infantry. Trying to flip some of these properties here. Battlecopter will get a good strike there. Do some good hits. Tank will strike the recon. And takes out the tank there. Give him a max blast. I'll just prep it for the next turn. Artillery piece will get another shot off next turn. Got tank, recon, anti-air. And does finish off the infantry unit there. Battlecopter strikes the battlecopter. Very good. And looks like Olaf's gonna make a advance towards these properties up north. Does a tank in the region. Battlecopter gets a good strike there. Battlecopter, recon, infantry. Got max blast activated. Olaf has 135,000 in the field versus Max is 117, and this is his superpower. In +2 movement range. And we'll be able to take out a good number of these basic infantry units, that's for sure. Finally spots the artillery. He may be able to put a round into it, trying to flip a property there. We saw that infantry in there, and the artillery priest finally gets knocked out. Not down for the moment. Oh, that 1 health mech gets a nice trap there, but then does not interrupt the capture there. How close is that? $8 to 9%, so even at full health, we would not interrupt a period. Yeah, even maximum luck roll. Tank, recon, infantry. And there is a flip there, so now Olaf has more income. Machine guns down that unit there. Good battlecopter strike. Does have a good number of tanks and battlecopter here. The Neo tank still poses a problem. The 1 health artillery piece does fall back there. Battlecopter could get a strike on that Neo tank because on 3-star property. So maybe I just hit all the other reserve tanks that's behind the Neo tank. Right now, these battlecopters are both in range of the anti-airs, which he has full vision of. So both those battlecopters will go down this turn. Got tank, mech. Right now, Max does have 108,000 in the field versus Olaf's 120, so Olaf and Max still neck and neck. But it feels like Max is very strong down here. With all the tanks and the Neo tank. And here comes the next Winter Fury. Now this artillery piece has been in range. Olaf's artillery has been on point this game. Tank, infantry does skimp out because of the Winter Fury. And Max now down 100 to 90,000. Olaf's at 94. Tank gets gunned down. Artillery takes out the infantry unit there. And the ATR finished off that 1 unit. Stops that prop being captured entirely. Battlecopter does not take out that tank there. Tank, and tank. All a good idea. His opponent has a good number of tanks and anti-airs. But he has still no proper threat to the Neo tank. And that's sometimes a little bit hard to get out in the field. Medium tanks can be a good intermediary, but they're just slow. Neo Tank Infantry. Mech gets a good strike on the anti-air. And this artillery piece is almost out of ammo as well. How? His artillery's been on point. How on earth do you get so many rounds off of these things? I think these artillery pieces across both of them got at least 15 kills, that's for sure. Or at least guaranteed 15 knockouts, I like to say, because, for example, this mech didn't necessarily kill the anti-air, but effectively made it worthless. Mech tank. Mech does go down. Mech's gonna try to flip that property. Do a flip. Mech goes down to a Neo tank. And Max has bought another Neo tank. He has another Max Force available. Anti-air infantry APC. Doesn't necessarily resupply, so this is going to be for a transport APC. Maybe better go for T-Coppers in that case. Does interrupt the capture here. Mech deployed forward, but a little bit exposed. There's another tank there. Interrupts that capture there. Going for the lab, which is effectively will do nothing capturing other than provide one tile vision. Tank infantry. Recon takes out the infantry out there. Neo tank takes out tank. Takes out that tank there. Another Neo tank hitting down south. And Olaf is very far from his superpower. He's actually costs 113 for the next superpower. Max's next power is, of course, available. His superpower is available at 97, so this is getting quite expensive. Well, his max blast is almost equal in cost to the Wind Fury. Maybe after a power or two. And again, Olaf's power and superpower only costs 7 stars, so Max only costs 6. So Olaf's superpower is not too terribly expensive compared to most standard 6-star power superpowers. Here, recon infantry. Takes out that tank there. Max blast is now available. Does interrupt those captures and stops that one entirely. And we got a bomber to pull off. That's a good way to counter. Max has been playing anti-airs because he lost all of his anti-airs, so he's afraid of battlecopters, which is a good fear. It also helps him fight the back bomber, which is not necessarily fear, but just a nightmare. Neo tanks took out one of the heroic artillery pieces. Get some good kills there. Max right now has 97,000 field. Olaf has 96, so they're pretty even at the moment. Tank, recon. Artillery piece gets a good strike there. Will machine gun it down. Max finished off the infantry unit there. Right now the income is equal. Tank is a good strike on the recon. Takes up that tank and knocks out the anti-air. Finishes it off. Infantry, tank. Anti-air will put some rounds into the regular tank. Neo tank takes up the tank as well. That the Neo tank's been doing very well this game as well. Olaf's artillery has been excellent. Max's Neo tank's been quite good. It's pretty easy to make them quite good. It's a little bit difficult to make these artillery pieces both spent down around 20 rounds of ammo in total. Tank recon. Olaf's turn. He does have the funds for another bomber, and he's pretty close to a max blast, or to another Winter Fury. He may be able to squeeze it out. A little bit difficult because it's 12,000 times 2, so he's going to inflict 24,000 damage, and this bomber is out of range of a Neo tank. Takes out the anti-air, and taking out the anti-air is very useful for this bomber. And does go ahead and sack the tank to get the Winter Fury. And another Winter Fury deployed on the field at 88 versus potentially 83. Don't trust this until it's Max's turn. $3,000 in the bank goes to 17, so spend about a couple thousand repairs. Up to 86 versus 111. Pops a max force, which is the power, not the superpower. This anti-air, don't think, no, it's nowhere near close enough to the bomber. So Olaf's bomber may get a first strike on the anti-air. Though I can understand striking the Neo tank. He has plenty of tanks nearby to pick up that anti-air. Plus, this Neo regular tank will have spotted as well, making it so he can take out the anti-air and then push for the bomber to nuke, say, the 8 health Neo tank. Heard a capture there, down to 5 capture progress. Neo tank is struck. Decides to take out the anti-air entirely. Tries to machine gun down the Neo tank. Does get 1 point of damage there. Infantry, battlecopter, tank, infantry. Now got Max's tanks straight forward. This Neo tank's a battered, bruised, and beaten. He's got another max force available. Infantry unit does take a hit there from the recon. Tank does. That Neo tank's probably close to 1% health now. ATR tank infantry, and this black boat still exists. Black boat is down to 26 fuel. I wonder if it will actually sink due to the lack of fuel this game. Bomber strikes the recon, which is probably the best target out of it. Don't want to go too far forward. Chances of anti-airs are very likely. This does get trapped up there. Nothing to stop the anti-air nor the recon, so you get a tank up there. We got our artillery piece here. Battlecopter, infantry. How much fuel does a black boat consume again per turn? I can never remember. It's like 2 fuel, right? Or does that reduce at like 1 fuel? Guess we'll find out soon enough. Good strikes there. Good amount, a good core of tanks there. Got both a Neo tank and a bomber here. He sees the bomber, does not see the Neo tank, which means also a good shot by the artillery piece. Like I said, these artillery pieces have been on point this game. He does not see the anti-air as well. If he spots the anti-air, the Neo tank can knock it out, allowing the bomber to get more free reign. And looks like the black boat does consume 1 fuel per turn. So in 25 turns, it will sink itself. Infantry unit. Huh, he took out 2 health tank there. $5 to 14%, so it must have been pretty damaged there. Bomber takes it out. He still does not have vision of the anti-air, which means the anti-air will get a great strike on that bomber. So Max gets a little bit lucky here. Olaf in turn for 124,000 fuel. Max has 100 or just 82. with 24,000 bank, which means maybe a Neo Tank this turn. Pops the Max Force once again, which I'll just go back a little bit. I guess he want to make sure it's guaranteed dead at both Max Force. I probably would have took the shot on the bomber either way because a 1 health bomber is effectively worthless. This could have got him a decent amount of power charge there, so I think this is an oversight. But now with Max Force activated, it's guaranteed to be a one-shot. Neo Tank strikes the Neo Tank. Did he do that for the +1 movement range? Could sit at least +1, not need the +1 movement range to strike the infantry unit. Because what is anti-air going to do now? Yeah, he could have used that the other one to strike the infantry unit. I disagree with that. I think he should have took out the bomber first. I can understand just not wanting him bad luck. Infantry, Neo Tank. Ends turn with 97,000 on the field. Olaf's on 89, so he has called out a little bit. Olaf has a slight advantage, and almost enough for another Winter Fury. He also is aware of 2 more anti-airs here. Just needs to scout them out and let the Neo Tank do its work. But he is lacking a bit of vision in this area. There's his vision. APC gets right there. Decides to take out the Neo Tank instead. So one of these battle cops going down. Maybe even both. If he has vision this one, it will go down as well. Does help the flip there. Max at 21,000 now. Winter Fury will likely pop next turn. Max's next power will cost 59,000. His next superpower costs 118. And next Winter Fury costs 126. So they're getting pretty even. Can't hit next turn. Next move. Let me manually hit next turn. Hopefully nothing severe changed. The game will continue. Neo Tank is good strike there, and there's the Winter Fury. Olaf's at 85,000, Max at 76. Again, I can't hit next turn, so the replay's bugging out. I'm gonna have to hit next turn. There's a lot of unmoved stuff, so we're gonna have to just hopefully. Oh, looks like the replay bugged out. Let's see if I can copy this. Because right now it's day 21, right? Or no, it's not day 21. It's right now day 38. Okay, the replay got pretty bugged out. It's not counting some of the game timer, but I believe Max may have backed out of the game. Yep, if I hit end replay, it looks like... Actually, no, Olaf backed out of the game. Oh. So it looks like Olaf popped the superpower and backed out of the game. Either way, well, that's the end of the replay. This is Angrade saying, thanks for watching, and on to the next replay. As mentioned beforehand, that shall be my last replay tonight. My apologies for the replay bugs. I do not know what's going on. I noticed like the end turn timer wasn't popping up, so it's just some bugginess today. Either way, this is Angrade saying, thank you for watching, have a good evening,